Unique about Ralph?
Ralph had the ability to really listen to you. He would give you your full, undivided attention when you talk to him. Every time I've talked to him, it's been the same. He listens to me, and it's such a pleasure to talk to somebody who will listen. Regardless of how ridiculous I am, he listens to me. So that's one unique thing about Ralph. And I told him this. I told him, one time I saw him, I said, hey, you're a unique person.
Yeah.
Because you really pay attention.
People want that, to be listened to.
Right.
Thanks, George.
You're welcome.
Interim pastor at Newcastle Church, one term removed from Ralph Johnson. And he and Anita often worshiped with us during the couple of years that I was there. And I could usually count on a comment from Ralph regarding the sermon. And he came up to me following a sermon one day, John, I have to talk to you about this sermon. I thought, boy, I'm in for it now. The sermon title was, If I Only Had One Sermon to Preach. And he affirmed it. He said it was good, it was great. And I left the sanctuary that day feeling like a new man. Thank you.
He's instrumental.
I'm talking to Ann Robinson, and she's showing me a book, a history notebook about the beginning of the Spear Trust, and Ralph Johnson had a big hand in that.
Yes, he did. And then he was on the first commission, and he was very instrumental in all that we did with Spear Trust. And he'll be remembered as a very important person.
Good.
Of course.
Yeah, tell me about Ralph and Anita.
Well, Ralph, all I can think of in recent years is HIV/AIDS, and
yes.
Anita was so helpful on getting me started on COM.
Yeah.
She came around to my house and gave me a tutorial.
Ralph was a real prophet in AIDS. Yes. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. I was very interested
about Ralph.
The one thing I remember about Ralph is that whenever he would talk with you, he would make you feel like you were the only person in the room. He would look right in your eyes and be very attentive and very intentional about his conversations with you.
Yeah.
That Ralph Johnson would each and every time stand and with a twinkle in his eye ask a question that seemed friendly but was also very telling. That he, and this is not his language, his was much better, but the idea is we're often known by our friends and associates, but he would maintain that we were also known by our enemies, or those who disagreed with us. Mm-hmm. So his question to every candidate was, who are your enemies, and what does that say about you? Think about it.
Yeah. Thanks, Jenny. Ralph was your moderator.
Ralph was our moderator for a while, and also our pastor for a while.
Yeah.
Too. Well, you want to talk to Sandy about it, because she'll have some pictures.
Okay, so did you get to know him as a person?
I don't know if this... Oh, yeah, yeah.
What was he like?
Well, Sandy is clerk of session, and I'm building grounds.
Yeah. I always found him a very friendly guy, and when I came into the presbytery, my confession of faith was unorthodox. And they said, Ralph would like to see this.
Everybody loved Ralph Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no question about it. He really he walked with God.
Yes, he did.
There was no question about it.
You'll miss him greatly.
Yes. Well, he's when I heard of his death, I was grief-stricken, but then almost immediately happy.
Yeah.
Because I knew he was in a place where his he didn't have to worry about his balance anymore.
Right.
He didn't have to worry about his any of his medical problems.
Yes.
Problem with his legs, he could walk around with no trouble at all.
Right.
Now. So that was I was happy for him. So the grief was short-term.
Yeah.
And I'm still happy for him.
Thanks,
because I know he's doing cartwheels now.
Amen.
He's doing cartwheels now. Yeah.
On the Spear visits.
On writing his report on the Spear visits, yes.
Yeah, on his Spear visits. They would be very detailed.
Mm-hmm.
And always with an encouragement to help those who could not help themselves.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very passionate person, a very giving person, and was always concerned about the underclass.
Yes, he was, yeah. Great guy. We're really going to miss him.
He's a great person.
Heaven's richer.
Heavens is much richer.
Thanks,
because of Ralph Johnson.
Thanks, Atlanta.